run. I think we've got a forum and we're going to get started. So welcome in Gemsters to Shepherd's Gem School. This is episode 15. Can you believe that? Episode 15 of Shepherd's Gem School. And today we're going to explore the volcanic heart of Mexico, a land where silica, fire, and time have created some of the world's most dramatic gems: fire opal, Cantera opal, fire agate, and the many different forms of obsidian. We're going to blend chemistry, geology, physics, and mythology into one cohesive journey for you. Doesn't that sound fun? So Mexico sits atop the Trans-Mexican Volcanic Belt. This is a 600-mile, can you believe that? 600-mile chain of volcanoes running from Jalisco, that's over here, from Jalisco all the way over to Veracruz. Isn't that awesome? Now, on the right, there's your city. Which one's your city, Captain? So, all the way to Veracruz, and we see Veracruz there on the right side of the map. Now, near Puebla, Mexico, Guadalajara, Jalisco. We have some beautiful items from Guadalajara. So, all the way on the right, close to Veracruz, is Puebla, Mexico. And in Puebla, there is an amazing volcano. It is Popocatépetl. And here's Popo. You see that beautiful, beautiful volcano? And there are historic ruins and treasures all around this region. All around this region, we have historic treasures. And here, oh, look at that, Ray winds. And if you're really attentive when you're in this part of Mexico, in that volcanic belt, you can find beautiful treasures like pyrite, like fluorite. Look at this beautiful fluorite. If you're really, really attentive, you can find obsidian cores. So this is what's called an obsidian core. This is what's left over from when perhaps a warrior or an artisan or perhaps even a homemaker was carving some sort of a implement out of, or flaking implements out of obsidian. And if you're really, really lucky, you'll even find pottery shards. Isn't that awesome? These are just some of the treasures that I had been fortunate enough to uncover myself in different parts of the Transvolcanic Belt in Mexico. Really, really awesome stuff. Those are NFS, of course. Now, when we look at this region, one of the really interesting things is that with Popo, there's me hiking in Popo. That was a crazy hike. I thought I was going to die. But you know what really would have scared me if what happened 2 days after this hike would have happened during my hike. Holy cow. Popo decided to do a little poo-poo. Oh my goodness. All right. So that whole transvolcanic belt region produces gems and materials such as rhyolite. Rhyolite is the parent rock for obsidian and opal. That's the large pieces of rock you see down there. That is rhyolite. This region then produces hydrothermal systems which circulate silica-rich water and rapid cooling events which form volcanic glass, also known as obsidian. These forces shape every gem we're discussing today. And, you know, as we've shown in previous shows, from our gems ranging from Brazil to India to Africa and Pakistan, we work with small miners all around the globe. We don't purchase from brokers or distributors. Our purchases directly benefit families working the land every day, and our gems from Mexico are no different. Here's the workshop of our artisan that we get our opals and obsidian from. A really amazing man. What's his name, sweetheart? El Gato, the cat, El Gato. Isn't that awesome? That's El Gato's workshop, and that's where Monica spent a good part of her time going through the treasures that she picked up down in Mexico. And we work with El Gato all the time. I can't answer that, Lucas. I can't answer that. But I sure couldn't do it, and we get ours directly from mines. All right, so fire opal and Cantera opal. Fire opal is a hydrated silica gem. Its formula is silicon dioxide, hydrated oxygen, right? And it's colored by iron. The iron is what gives the opal that reddish orangey color. So the body color will range from a sun yellow to an ember orange to a cherry red, and some pieces will show play of color, but many rely purely on the body color. Rhyolite is the birthplace of Mexican opal, and rhyolite is this material we see right here. This is rhyolite, and there's some opal in that rhyolite. Rhyolite, it's not a mineral, it's a rock, so it doesn't have a strict chemical formula. However, its average composition is pretty similar to high silica granite. So it's dominated by silica, aluminum oxide, and alkali oxides. It's really, really an awesome, awesome rock. Now, this is, it has a feldspar and quartz dominance, and rhyolite forms from high silica magma. So this is a rock that forms from volcanic eruptions. It forms from high silica magma that erupts explosively or extrudes as thick, slow-moving lava flows. And because the lava is so viscous, gases become trapped in there, and these create gas bubbles, fractures, and flow bands. Here's a really good example. Here's a really good example in this rhyolite of some of those gas bubbles that formed, right? Those gas bubbles that formed, and that's where that silica material then deposited. In this rhyolite, we see some of those flow bands. Isn't that awesome? Really, really cool. That's a flow band within a fracture. Now, why does rhyolite create opal? Rhyolite is the perfect host rock because it's extremely silica rich. It contains these gas cavities that act as natural molds, and it fractures easily, allowing hydrothermal fluids to circulate. And as that silica-rich water cools, it deposits the opal gel inside these cavities. Isn't that awesome? And so this Mexican opal often contains two-phase and three-phase inclusions, which you might see liquid or gas or a crystal inside that opal material. Mineral ghosts, as we see here, we see a ghost in the middle or a phantom in the middle of this opal material, as well as that high transparency and color play. In Mexico, Querétaro's opal fields are built in pink to red rhyolite, which has been mined for over a century. Now, Monica went to visit. We've got a good connection down there who owns the Pata de Gallo mine. And this mine, here's Monica with the owner of the mine and El Gato. There's Monica. So the owner of this mine, his family, it's a really interesting story. So the owner of this mine, he was originally, what was his job originally, babe?
A cotton field.
Ah, so he was, well, before he did the fields, no, the son. He was a barber. So the son was a barber. His father owned these fields around the mine and was a agave farmer. And the son needed to go help his father. The son needed to go help his father. And while he was mining, or while he was growing the agave, he kept finding a lot of the rock and opal rich rock. And he told his father, I think we can do better mining opal than we can growing agave. So that's how they started mining here. And there's a deeper picture of the mine. Isn't that amazing? There's Monica all the way down in there. And this mine is owned by them. They don't have to deal with the cartel in this region. Because for the cartel, it's too hard work. They prefer the easier work. But they do have to deal with people that sneak into the mine and try to steal their opals. In fact, he was telling her about 12, 15 years ago, there were 3 illegal miners in his mine, and they caused one of those rock faces to collapse. And they had to get a huge rescue operation to get everyone out. So they do have to deal with that. Here's Monica. She was being careful, of course. She was there trying to get some material out of the mine. It was pretty cool. She had a great time. Now, Cantera opal, so Cantera opal is fire opal that is left in its rhyolite matrix. So here's a typical fire opal, and a Cantera. Can I have Oh, here's a Cantera. And a Cantera opal is the same thing, except instead of removing the opal from all of this matrix, they leave some of that matrix in place around it to give it kind of a more unique appearance. That preserves the volcanic context. It leaves that beautiful natural opal pocket, and it also provides for extra durability. It's almost like holding a slice of the volcano itself.
Beep, bop, boop, everybody look Sam. He's like